Good morning, good afternoon or good evening, wherever in the world you may be. This evening I'd like to talk to you about the humble picotin, or maybe the not so humble. Now, I have a lot of notes on my tablet here, so if you see me looking over in this direction, I'm consulting my notes because there is no way I can remember all of this. So first and foremost, I want to make it clear that I am no Hermès expert at all. I have in fact never ever been into an Hermès store. It's never particularly interested me, apart from the picotin. I don't know, it just doesn't appeal. I mean, look, I know there are loads of you out there who absolutely adore Hermès and are doing your Hermès journey and want a Birkin or a Kelly or a whatever more than anything else, and that's great. Whatever you're into is fine with me. We're all different, and thank goodness we are, because, you know, the world would be a boring place, wouldn't it? So I want to make that clear. I'm no expert. I bought a few picotins. I had a bit of a splurge. I saw one on a consignment website in the UK and thought, wow, that's a really nice bag. And it was this one, which was the first one I bought, which is the cargo picotin, or sometimes referred to as the picotin lock pocket, I think. Or is it the picotin pocket lock? No, picotin lock pocket. You see what I mean? I really am no expert. I have done a bit of research about this because I did want to, you know, talk a bit more in depth about these bags. I actually did a video about my Hermès collection. I think it was on the 14th of April, because it was 2 weeks after I started my channel, and I started on April Fool's Day, on April the 1st, which, you know, I just thought was appropriate. I mean, it's just my weird sense of humour. Anyway, that video will be up here, and I show you all of my picotins in that video. I have 3 cargo picotins and 3 of the leather ones, and all the leather ones are Clémence. They're all in the size 18, which suits me because, being, you know, 5 foot nothing, of short stature, shall we say, I think this bag is just the perfect size, and for me it's the perfect bucket bag. I'd never had a bucket bag before, which I know sounds crazy. I mean, I've been collecting handbags for over 30 years. Never had a bucket bag. You know, I'd looked at them and thought, oh, you know, don't like them. You can see everything that's in them. You know, it just doesn't look very tidy. And if you don't know me very well, I have OCD. And looking tidy is important. You know, if something doesn't look, if the coat hanger's around the wrong way, it bothers me a lot. I know it sounds crazy, but, you know, OCD is a real thing, and it is a pain in the proverbial, and I so wish I didn't have it, but I do. Anyway, I am digressing as always. So, today I want to talk about the picotin in more detail, give you an update on how they're holding up, and also we might do a good old-fashioned what fits in my picotin. Now, when I was doing some research, I was trying to find out when Hermès had started making the cargo picotin, you know, which is this one in canvas with the pockets around the outside. It actually has five pockets. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this cute little one at the front, look, the flap. I mean, it's a gorgeous bag, look, seriously. It is just beautiful. And it has this little pocket here. And you just, you know, they're so easy. You just open them up, shove everything in there, pull that down, off you go. Fabulous bags. Anyway, I was trying to find out when Hermès started making the cargo picotin and stopped making it, because I knew it was a limited edition thing and they only made them for so long. Well, boy, did I fall down a rabbit hole. I mean, a bag's a bag. I love handbags and I like to know about the bags that I buy. 4 hours later, I just looked at the clock and went, oh, for goodness sake, it's nearly midnight. So here I am in the early hours of the morning talking about picotin, and I still couldn't find out a definitive answer. Now, as far as I know, they started making the cargo picotin in 2021, made it throughout 2021 and 2022, and then stopped making it. And I bought one and loved it. And then I saw another one and I bought that one. And then I saw another one. This time it was a leather one. It was this one. The Picotin 18 in gold. Now, you might think it looks a bit strange like this, but we'll backtrack a bit. So I bought 2 cargo picotins, and they're canvas and they're quite rigid. But I thought, oh look, I'll buy an organiser for them anyway, so keep the inside nice and clean. Then I bought this one, and most of the leather picotins are made in Clemence leather. There is another leather that they are sometimes made in. Right, here we go, yes. Most picotins are in Clemence leather, which is a heavy bull calf leather with a pebble grain known for its durability. Sometimes they are made in Maurice leather, which has a small even grain and a slight lustre. Now the Clemence is softer and tends to sag over time, something to which I can personally testify to. I mean, that also happens with old age, you sag over time. I mean, it's sad, but it's true. It happens to all of us, unfortunately. So it was obvious when I got the bag and looked at it, I thought, yeah, that is going to sag. This was before I'd done all the research on the bags. I just had a brief look on Google and found out that, the leather was Clemence and it was quite soft and, they did sag. Now, this is the inside of the bag. And it's just the raw side of the leather. There are no pockets, there's nothing. So the picotin is made in the retourne style. So the bag is basically sewn inside out and then it's turned the right way out, which is why you get the rounded corners here. So as you can see, the seams are on the inside. That is top stitched. This is applied afterwards. You can see it's on the inside as well. Now, the other method that Hermès uses is called sellier. And that's when it's stitched on the outside of the bag and any edges are glazed. However, these are all retourne, so, this I can see how it's made and know more about the sellier. I've never had an Hermès bag that's made like that, so I don't know. Although, having said that, all these pockets are applied afterwards, so this is a sort of the cargo is actually a sort of a hybrid retourne and sellier, isn't it? I just thought of that. Anyway, what I know, getting back to where I was in the first place, What I noticed was this, that, you know, the leather, you can see, is really soft. It doesn't have, you know, once you put the padlock on there, that goes through here. You know, it's going to get very, very slouchy. So, the first thing I did was to buy an organiser or shaper, and I bought this one from Degas. These are a brilliant company. They sell their organisers and also pillows for inside bags, which I'll show you in a moment, on Amazon. They're a little bit pricey, but they are so worth it. Inside they have pockets, small pockets around the edge. They've got one on each side there, two on each side here. Now, you might look at this and think this is fairly flimsy, but trust me, this really helps the bag keep its shape. And the price of these at the moment, which I've written down for you, I just think these are so much nicer than the felt ones. You know, and I think when you've spent, you know, $6,000–7,000 on a bag, which you will spend if you buy them from a consignment store, to spend another $60 or $80 to make sure that bag stays in good condition is a bit of a no-brainer, really. It's like insurance. So, for the Picotin 18, these organisers at the moment are $98.69, but currently there's a 20% off promotion. So that brings the price down to $78.95 Australian, which is approximately $54.50 US. I'll put the details about these in the description box down under. Trust me, they are worth it. And no, I'm not sponsored. I don't have anything to do with Degas. I don't have any affiliated links. I haven't quite risen to those levels yet. I bought them with my own money, all of them. And they fit in perfectly. And because they're not felt, you know, when you've got, you know, the rough side of the leather inside a bag when it's unfinished and it's suede, put felt against that and it's going to stick. Do you know what I mean? These don't, because they're made of silk, and they're just gorgeous. And I think you can see straight away the difference that makes. Let me go back a little bit more so you can see. See, I mean, the bag stands up. It's brilliant. However, me and my OCD, when I'm not using these bags, I've got, you know, billy cupboards from IKEA that everybody has. I mean, they're fabulous value for money and they're great for putting handbags in. My only gripe is that they used to be deeper. So you used to be able to get handbags in, you know, that way. Now they're shallower. So you can only get small bags in that way, and you can't get as many bags in, you know what I mean, because the big ones you've got to put in this way. Am I making any sense at all? I don't know, it's really late, guys, and I'm just, oh dear. If I'm waffling, excuse me. Anyway, I was bothered about it just having the organiser in and sitting in the cupboard for a while. And then I saw these. They're called a purse pillow shaper, and they're made from memory foam. This one for the Picotin 18 retails for $83.69, that's Australian. But at the moment there's a 20% off promotion on Amazon, that is. So that's $66.95 or $46.20 US dollars. And this fits perfectly. inside, and because this again is silk on the outside, it just slides into this bag beautifully. The shape is perfection, and that will most definitely keep your bag looking as good as new for a long time. They've got this piece of tape across the top so you can just pull it out easily, so you haven't got to go, you know, fiddling around the edges to try and pull the thing out. Really simple. And that's how I store the Clemence ones. And I just think it's, you know, you need to invest money in your bags. You know, we spend thousands of dollars on bags sometimes, and, you know, and yet I know a lot of people look at the price of these and go, oh, that's a bit much though. You know, I'll just stuff it with paper or buy a cheap felt one. Please don't. And as for stuffing with paper, if you live in Australia or Singapore, Asia, anywhere where it's humid, please don't put paper in your bag. I know I've said this a couple of videos ago, but paper attracts moisture, and you don't want damp paper sitting in your bag. Because I know I sometimes have bags sitting in my cupboard for 6-9 months when I don't use them. The last thing you want is to take paper out of your bag and then find that it's all mouldy inside at the bottom. It's just, you know, it's a false economy. It really is. Look after your things. I mean, that is one thing that I've learned. You know, having had luxury bags for a long time. I mean, my first luxury bag was actually a vintage Dior that my mum gave me when I was about 13. And I know I was very lucky to have that as a first bag, but it really made me appreciate from an early age just how, and I mean, bags were beautifully made then. They, compared to now, boy, it's just, they're in a different league. Anyway, it taught me to appreciate how to look after things. My mum had had this bag for about, I don't know, 20 years. It still looked like new. You know, she looked after it beautifully, and I looked after it beautifully and passed it on to somebody else, and, you know, it was still as good as new, and it was about 40 years old by then. You know, spend $67 or, you know, for a pillow, or $78 for, you know, one of these beautiful organisers and bag shapers as well. And to be honest, look, I mean, the pillow, really, I mean, that's me going to the extreme, but if you at least get a bag shaper like this, and you can stuff this, you know, use bubble wrap. You know, those air pockets are great. Don't put tissue paper in. That is the worst thing you can do. I mean, it's, if you live in a dry climate, fine, but I mean, in Sydney sometimes the humidity is up near 90%. If you live up near Brisbane, it's sometimes nearly 100%. I mean, you walk out the doors in Brisbane Airport and you can carve a chunk out of the air. You know what I mean? You just breathe in that moisture. And just think what it's doing to your bags. This is another one. Oh God, I love this bag. This one is a Verso, which means that it has a different colour on the reverse there. And the inside of that is anemone or anemone. And Degas even make they make that colour, which for me is so satisfying. You know, to be able to buy a bag shaper in the same colour as the inside of the handles of your bag is just, I mean, bee's knees, cat's whiskers, all of those things spring to mind. I did say that sometimes some of these bags are made in Maurice leather. Now, Maurice leather is also bull calf, is also a heavy bull calf leather, but it's got a small even grain, a slight lustre, and it's stiffer than Clemence. It will hold its shape better. So if you have one of those, then, you know, well, I mean, you'll still need to make sure that, you know, it keeps its shape. It's not going to stay perfect forever, but it's going to be less hassle than the Clemence. Although I must say the Clemence leather feels just, oh my goodness, just feels gorgeous. It really does. Now there's also a Picotin called a Picotin Touch, which has exotic handles. Just the handles there will be made out of an exotic. Those are very sought after. Also, you can get a Picotin made of full exotic, so you can get an ostrich. I think an ostrich one is the only one I've seen, actually. Now, we've covered the leather, we've covered what you need to do to keep the shape. I just wanted to get on to pricing, and it's quite a coincidence really, because one of my subscribers left a comment today on my Hermès collection video, which, you know, was up there earlier, which we can put up there again. It's a good video. Considering I'd only been making videos for a couple of weeks, I think I did a reasonable job. And I have some nice pieces. I mean, this is one of them. This is a little Constance necklace. That's really beautiful and has little diamonds in. I don't know if you can catch the sparkle there, but they're lovely. And now that's another good tip. I know we're supposed to be talking about Picotin, but you know when people are doing the Hermès journey and they want to spend, you know, X amount of money, or they need to spend X amount of money, you know, before they're offered a bag. I know Hermès say that you don't have to, but look, I've seen so many videos from people that have had to spend, you know, 3 times, you know, the amount of money that it costs to buy a Birkin or a Kelly, or at least twice that. One good way of bumping your spend up quickly is to buy fine jewellery. And people often buy these because, I don't know if these are even on the Hermès website anymore, but they were about $16,000. So, I mean, if you're wanting to spend, you know, your money pretty quickly and you can afford to do so, this is a good chunk of it. And of course, people buy them new and they often don't wear them. I bought this for half price, brand new, with everything, on a consignment store, so $8,000 instead of 16. Which I know is still a lot of money, but it was a gift for a special occasion, and, you know, half price. I mean, it was brilliant. Box, everything. All of the Picotin, every single one I've bought has come with a receipt. All the little, you know, the little dust bags, the padlocks, you know, even the little bags for the keys, everything. Receipt. What else do you get? Even the ribbon, you know, the Hermès ribbon inside the boxes. The base of this, I mean, a lot of people think that these are square, but they're not, they're a rectangle. The base of this measures 18 centimetres this way, 12 centimetres that way, and then 18 centimetres high, which in old money is 7 inches, 4 3/4 along the shortest side, and 7 inches high. Just so you've got an idea of, you know, the size of the bag. I just think they're perfect. I mean, for somebody who's like me, 5 foot nothing, the 18 is brilliant. They come in 3 sizes, the 18, which is ones that I have, the 20 and the 22. And although it doesn't sound much bigger, you know, 2 centimetres is, what, just under an inch, I think. Yeah, it's just under an inch. It does make quite a bit of difference. I mean, the 22 is a much bigger bag than the 18. So, as I was saying, coincidentally, just as I was doing all the research for this video, one of my subscribers, Kpops168, left a message on my Hermes collection video today, like just a couple of hours before I started doing the research. And I have asked her if she minds me reading out part of her comment, and she's fine. So I just wanted to, you know, make that clear that I have asked for permission. So part of the comment says, I also adore the Picotin. I wonder why you didn't buy them in store, as the resale prices seem to be quite high, especially for the cargo. I only went into Hermes this year, and my first and only Hermes purchase was a cargo in navy with palladium hardware. It's gorgeous, and I want to see if I can get another in leather next time. Now, when I read that, I thought, oh, lucky lady, she must be, you know, she must live in Europe or the US or somewhere where it's easier to find, you know, bags like this. So, you know, when I asked her, I replied to a comment and asked her if, you know, told what had happened, that I was researching for the video. And I asked her if she'd mind if I used some of her comment, you know, in the video. And I said, because, you know, I live in Sydney, Australia. And I wanted to make that clear because, you know, the position here regards what you can buy and what you can buy elsewhere is very, very different. But funnily enough, she replied to me, and she's from Melbourne. And honestly, it's the funniest thing. I mean, she just absolutely had this amazing stroke of luck. She went into an Hermes store and they had a navy cargo picotin with palladium hardware. And the palladium hardware is like on this Bleu Royal, you know, the sort of the silver colour hardware. And the navy cargo picotin with that in store for, you know, the store price, which is at least a couple of $1,000 less than you buy them from a consignment store, is practically unheard of in Australia. But of course, if you go in, and she'd gone into the Hermes store for the first time, if you go into a store for the first time, they just happen to have what you want. Do you know what I mean? You've got no idea that you're perhaps the luckiest person in Australia on that particular day as far as buying a handbag goes. And, you know, good on you. I'm delighted that that happened to you. Because I just wanted to point that out, because that happens so rarely in Australia. You know, we are so far away from anywhere else. We have a very small population. I think we're up to about 27, 28 million now. Now, that is not a lot. I mean, I think in the States you've probably got 10 times that population. And certainly in Europe, goodness knows. And I mean, in the UK, I think it's probably, I don't know, about 70 million or something like that. So for a start-off, we're a long way from anywhere. So shipping costs are very high. It's a small marketplace. We're spread all over a very big country, and our infrastructure, transport costs are very high, because with a small population, you know, trying to keep the infrastructure in good condition is really hard. And it's also one of the reasons why we're the highest tax country in the Western world. I'm sort of going off topic a bit, but not, because, you'll understand that a company like Hermes look at the marketplace, look at how many people might buy the product, how readily available is it going to be, how many people are going to buy, how much does it cost to get there, etc., etc. So we literally get the dregs that nobody else wants. And when it's, a brand like Hermes, there really aren't any dregs, are there? So, we're really lucky if we get the odd one or two non-quota bags in a store at a time. And even though they're non-quota bags, I know for a fact, even though I haven't personally been into an Hermes store, friends of mine have, and they've tried to buy, I think one of them tried to buy a Lindy that was in the store. Once it was a mini Lindy, which I know are more sought after than the others. My other friend tried to buy a Clemence leather picotin in gold, like this one, the lovely tan colour. It's not quite as orange as it looks on there, by the way. It's a gorgeous colour. Both tried to buy them and said, oh, so sorry, they're just for display purposes. Oh no, I think that they said that to one person, and the other friend, who I think was after the mini Lindy, the lady said, oh, I'm so sorry, that's reserved for a regular customer. And this is the thing, you see, regular customer, even though they're non-quota bags, if you're just walking off the street, your chances of just being able to, pick up, say, one of these off the shelf, take it to the counter and say, I'll have that, please. How much is it? Is, 1 in a million. So this lady that managed to get one, good on you and well done. And I'm really delighted for you, because it's a rarity. It is, honestly. And it's a fabulous combination. I mean, a cargo picotin navy with palladium hardware. Oh my goodness. I mean, yes, please. If you ever get sick of it and you want to sell it, let me know. Just, we won't tell anybody else, she says, with how many people watching. But I hope there's a lot of people watching, actually. Talking of a lot of people watching, if you've enjoyed watching my videos and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. We're a lovely little community here, and seriously, I know everybody says this, but really, my subscribers are the best. You guys really are the best. I mean, I've only recently been monetised. My channel was monetised on a week ago, last Monday. And, I'm just totally amazed that happened. And as I said before, YouTube is one of those things, you can't do it on your own. And I need you guys, It takes a village to monetize a YouTube channel, it really does. So if you will consider subscribing, I would really appreciate it. It would mean a lot to me. I mean, my ultimate goal would be to get that play button, the silver play button, 100,000. I know it's a lot. And I'm sort of, 2,000 and a bit now, but I'd really love to get 10,000 subscribers. If you haven't seen my first video, I started this YouTube channel because I saw a YouTube video about a company that was offering courses for people who wanted to start a YouTube channel aged between 18 and 55. And I just thought, well, what do I do then? I mean, I'm 69, I'm 70 in a couple of weeks. I thought, so, what about me? I mean, I'm very much for, inclusivity. I don't exclude anybody on the grounds of anything, sex, race, any sort of gender, any age, anything. Do you know what I mean? And I just thought, how can you do that? How can you say 18 to 55? I mean, 18, fine, put a, a legal age as your minimum, that's fine. 18 onwards. What's wrong with that? So, and it was just like waving a red flag at a bull, and I thought, right, okay, you watch me then. I've actually really enjoyed making videos, and I've loved having a YouTube channel. And the thing I love about it is the interaction with you guys. I really do. I love your comments. I reply to all of them. I love hearing what you think about things, different ideas, different thoughts, different opinions. It's great, you know, because as you get older, you can very easily, you know, sort of do that. You know what I mean? Your focus sort of narrows. You know what I mean? You get your own opinions, and you get fairly set in your ways and your ideas and what you think about something. And it's just great to have to blow all that apart and say, okay, forget all about that. I'm open to any ideas, anybody's thoughts, anybody's comments, anybody's opinions. I'll look at it from anybody's point of view. And it's great. It has been an absolutely fantastic journey. And I thank each and every one of you. And I will continue to thank you. So let's go for 10,000, eh? Why not? And prove the 18 to 55 people wrong. I'm not naming any names, but you know who you are. Just saying. Okay, so on Friday's video, I asked you, if you want to enter the draw, to follow me on Instagram and to like a photograph of myself and Scott. And about 20 people, I think, have entered the draw, approximately. And that should be happening fairly soon. Okay, and the winner is Birkin Boy. So, Craig, if you'd love those earrings for yourself, no problem, I can send them to you if you can let me have your address. If you want to pass them on to somebody else, that's your prerogative also. And if you don't want the earrings and you want us to draw it again, please let me know and we can do that in the next video. Thank you to everybody for participating, and thank you again for all the support you've given me. I really, really appreciate it. You're just the best, guys. Thank you. To get back to Picotin, it is, quite frankly, a gorgeous little bag. Did I mention there is now a micro Picotin, which is only 14 centimetres, which is really, you know, we're talking micro, you know, a micro bag. I wanted to show you what fits inside one, because I quite like those old school, you know, what fits in my bag. I love watching those sort of videos on YouTube. Okay, so this is the bag on the crook of the arm, really comfortable. These leather straps are made from Swift leather, and it's really soft. It's so nice on the skin, it really is. I mean, Elmer's leather is just gorgeous. And it's a brilliant little bag to hold like that, or just, you know, just a bucket bag. Just handheld. It's fabulous. I mean, it can be a casual bag and it can be a smart bag as well. And also, I've seen it where people have put, I think you can get straps for the Lindy. Sorry, talking to you a bit out of shot there. I think you can get them for the Lindy, and they sort of hook round the strap here and attach underneath somehow. So you can have it sort of on a shoulder strap. The only thing is, what I've read about that is that it sort of pulls the bag open a bit like that. So, you know, that's the only thing. I mean, you know, a bucket bag is open at the top, but, you know, when that's pulled down, really, I think it's great. I don't use these outside pockets. I mean, you could, but you know, I don't feel the need to use them. So, okay, we're going to do an old school what's in my bag. Cargo picotin in bleu royal, in other words, royal blue. Now, you've got the strap across the middle, but it's so easy to get things in and out of here, honestly. It's a dream, really. It's such an easy grab and go bag. First thing I've got in here is a little Harrods tote, you know, one of those totes that you fold up and zip round. Great to take out with you for an extra bag, just in case you might do any shopping, you know. Now, I won't unzip this and fold it up again and all that because it takes a while, but if you want to see me do that, and you want to see what fits in another bag that I've got, I've done a review on this Chanel 22 in the small size, and I put what fitted in there, and that was amongst them, and I'll put that video up there. So I've got sunglasses case. It's a decent size. You can see how thick that is. We've got a very full credit card, you know, and store cards, you know, all those loyalty cards and all those things you have to carry around with you. Now, I've got the medium size of the, you know, the set of 3 Kirigami pochettes that you get from Louis Vuitton. That's the middle size one. And I've got a bit of makeup in there. It's basically a catch-all for, you know, bits and pieces. Got a standard Android phone, decent size. Lipstick in one of the side pockets. And something, oh yeah. And my little pill box from Lulu Guinness. Look at that, isn't that cute? I love Lulu Guinness. You know, she does those the lip clutches that are like a pair of lips. She does these lovely little pill boxes. They're fabulous. So that's what fits inside a Cargo Picotin 18. And if you want to see the actual Picotin themselves sort of in more detail and what colour they are, etc., etc., I'll leave that video up there again about my Hermès collection. Anyway, I hope you've learned a little bit more about the Picotin, and I think it's a bit of an unsung hero. I really do. But, you know, demand has picked up for them, certainly, and prices are definitely going up on the resale market, which is surprising given that, you know, resale prices in general are going down at the moment. But these seem to be increasing in popularity, and I'm not surprised because they're great bags, whether you get the cargo ones or just the standard leather Picotin. Brilliant bag. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and please feel free to leave me a comment down below. I'll leave details of the Degas purse organisers and the memory foam purse pillows down under as well. And I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday, when I think we might be talking about retirement dressing. Just briefly, I think we'll do that sort of in steps. So it's, I mean, it's not the sort of thing, you know, that you can do all at once. You can't just, you know, take your whole wardrobe, you know, and completely change it in a day. I mean, it's something you've got to do in the stages, and I think it makes it easier if you do it like that. Do it in bite-sized chunks, you know. So we'll do the next step in retirement dressing, and we might be still on the hunt for that perfect white t-shirt. I mean, where is it? Does it even exist? You know? Anyway, I've got somewhere to go that I think might have one, so I'll bring you along with me. And you can see on Wednesday. Hope to see you then. As always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. À bientôt, mes amis. Au revoir et bonsoir. Now this is a memory foam pillow shaper. Giving out the plastic bag. Sorry, I'm not in shot here. Oh, I should move that back a bit. Ooh. That fitted inside there fairly easily, which I hope you can see. Can you see that very well? I shall leave details of the purse